While it could be argued that anything would be better than the previous episode, this episode was not only better, it was significantly more so. While doing a very poor job of practicing the spells in her spellbook, Star says something insensitive to Glossaryck, and the two of them have a falling out where Glossaryck refuses to speak to her. So Star and Marco go on a bit of a quest to try to get the two of them to reconcile, Glossaryck refusing to do so at every single turn. Meanwhile, back on Uni, Ludo is also trying to learn how to control his wand better. He knows how to call upon his magic, but he doesn't know yet how to control it. A voice from Ludo's wand begins speaking to him, suggesting that he go and try to talk to Star, to force her to share what she knows about spellcasting with him. They each think that the other is no longer a threat. Star thinks that Ludo is dead, and Ludo thinks that Star no longer has her wand. So both of them are rightly surprised when they meet again, and not only does Ludo have two new extremely effective minions, but he has magic of his own. A conflict ensues in which it is reinforced that Ludo has the raw power to do real harm to Star, but not the control to hit her, and that Star has the control, but because she hasn't been practicing, her spells don't have the punch that she needs to do the job. It isn't until Glossaryck seems to be in danger and Star really pushes herself that she seems to understand the severity of the situation. Glossaryck turns out to be fine, but Star is still inspired to perform a spell correctly from the spellbook, conjuring up a devastating attack which sends Ludo and his two minions back to where they came from. At which point Glossaryck reveals that everything that he's done up to this point has been part of the plan to make this happen, which I find very hard to believe because the very last shot of this episode is Ludo telling the wand that there's a spellbook. He's seen the spellbook now and he knows that it exists. It is now going to be his new goal to take that spellbook, and I can't imagine that that's what Glossaryck wanted. If Glossaryck really can see future events, you'd think he'd be able to see that one too. And I'm genuinely worried about this. Glossaryck seems to be some sort of genie-like creature, and he says in this episode definitively that he doesn't have feelings, so it's not like he can actually grow attached to someone. If Ludo gets this spellbook, I don't think we can count on Glossaryck to try to prevent him from learning what's in it. There's also the voice from his wand that is of particular interest. I've been waiting until it actually came up to talk about it, but I'm thinking that the arm that makes up the handle of his wand is the arm that Toffee lost. Somehow, it ended up where Ludo would find it, and that the voice speaking to him is Toffee's voice. Either that or they're just setting up a plotline where Ludo goes crazy, but I don't think that that's what they're doing here. Ludo is rapidly becoming my favorite thing about this show, which is something I never thought I would say. Though that's not to say that the stuff with Star and Marco and Glossaryck wasn't fun either. I actually didn't mind Glossaryck in this episode. He was well incorporated into the main cast and involved in a lot of decent gags, so overall I was pretty okay with him being here despite the fact that I still don't like his character much. There were a lot of funny moments throughout the scenes where they were trying to get his affections back, and a lot of funny scenes during the fight with Ludo. It was a very visually comedic episode, a very strong episode in that regard as well. And yet they were able to advance the plot as much as they did as well. Ludo has a new goal. Star now, hopefully, understands the importance of learning her spells properly. Just looking at the reunion between Star and Ludo illustrates exactly what I'm talking about. It managed to be both a tense situation and a humorous one because the writing in it was so strong. I'm still not sure that this is the strongest episode of the season, but it's definitely really high up there. And I'm really looking forward to seeing both of these plot lines continue. I also like that the way that Star finally triggered her big spell was basically a magical girl attack animation. It's been a while since we've gotten a magical girl reference from Star's behavior. Overall, an excellent episode of the show, and I recommend it to anyone who hasn't seen it yet. But as per usual, guys, if you have seen this episode, what did you think of it? Let's get a discussion going in the comment section down below. Either way, this has been AJ22, and I will talk to you guys later.